Hail and welcome, beautiful soul, to Buddhist Tarot. My name is Curtis, your local Buddhist of the earth, here to bring you some advice and meditations for your day. How we're going to do that is I will be using tarot to pull cards for the general energy, the general lesson that Spirit wants to communicate with you. If you have a question in mind, go ahead and think of that question now, and hopefully we'll get some clarity on whether this reading applies to your question. So how I start all my readings is by pulling one card that represents the overall message Spirit wants to give to us today. That's called the Buddha Slap. What we'll do is continue to pull other cards until the end of the reading and see if the whole message comes together. If you have a burning question on your mind, I'm going to go ahead and pull two cards for that question. You have to pick one of these cards, and it will represent the answer to your question at the end of the reading as well. And we'll use the pendulum to get you a yes or a no for that question and give you a little bit more elaboration. So thank you for joining me this morning for my little meditation. If you would like to join me more often, you can go ahead and like this video, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I greatly appreciate it, but let's get this reading started. So I read for myself every morning in cycles just to see what energies I'm dealing with for the day, things I might need to think about. And I kind of take it as a mindfulness practice. And so that's why I'm compelled to share it, because I spend so much time doing this for myself and for my own mental health. And hopefully it'll help you to think about life and get a better understanding of what's going on. So how I start is by pulling cards for like physical energies in my life and my day. So we're going to start by doing that. So this first set of cards is just going to represent that, the physical sensations you feel, the actual manifestations in your life that you would see around you. So we're going to start by pulling four cards for that and talking about how that energy is moving through your day, week, or life, just depending on when you watch this video and what your attention when you started watching. So, okay. So the first four cards we have here is the card Success. So Success is a really nice energy to start out with, and I think maybe it's a new year. People are wanting to focus on being successful more than ever. Usually when we start a new year, we're thinking back like, oh my gosh, what have I been doing? But it's interesting to start off with success because the energy that's kind of underlying it at the bottom of the deck here was joy. And so maybe what we should talk about today is the underlying energy of this reading is finding joy in your life, or that's how I would interpret the message. So starting out with like, okay, most people, we think if we're trying to find joy in our life, we're trying to start out with success. Like, duh, I want to be successful. Of course, that's going to bring me joy, right? And so what defines success? So in moving through kind of the cycle of energy they're wanting to talk about today is that venture into feeling successful. Next one they have is organization. So once we realize maybe we want to have some success, we need to put our plans into action through organizing ourselves, setting routines, doing all those things that, of course, we hate to do. One of the things I've been thinking a lot about lately is just consistency, and how consistency in and of itself makes things better over time. So the more practice that you have and the more you work on something, of course, the better you're going to get at it over time. And so in a way, putting more weight into that organization is going to pay off for that success over time. So moving from this idea of we were wanting to have success, first, of course, you got to figure out, well, what does success mean to you? So that might be something to really focus on. And then also putting what it says here is purpose, planning, efficiency. And that's something that should be coming to you easily now. Especially with Mercury retrograde just ending, that is probably something we can all kind of feel. And that's nice that starts at the beginning of the year for us. Moving on from that, I think it's giving psychic protection. So in the sense of a physical manifestation of something spiritual or psychic protection, to me that's just saying putting some consideration to how, think about where you are in life and how your success up to this point, it's mirroring success here for me. So success in psychic protection is kind of thinking about in what ways are you already protected in life, and in what ways are you maybe need to be grateful for the structures, people, and events in your life that have kept you safe up until now. So if you're thinking about organization moving forward, who are the reliable people in your life? Who are, what are the, what can you trust? And then also maybe some trust in yourself and spirit that, putting that energy in is going to bring an hour manifestation. And then at the end of the road here, we start with the number 1. So through this physical kind of cycle that we're seeing how the energies are playing out around us, we have love being the closing of the cycle. So I think it's this process of maybe we've been going through our lives and not seeing where we're being appreciated, or not seeing that we're loved and valued. And maybe that's where success is important to us. If I can be successful in a physical sense, I get the love and value and appreciation at the end. But this is just a reminder that arriving at that love and appreciation requires consistency, and it requires a certain amount of trust that consistency is going to manifest for you in terms of exactly what you want, or that love and appreciation for whatever you accomplish. So having that come through and play out in a physical sense, it would make sense that in a physical way, our success needs to be grounded in some kind of organization, some kind of pattern. Interesting that the underlying energy again was joy, and that maybe this is something we're going to find joy in, maybe not necessarily joy in the starting of that process or the focus on success, but the focus on the purpose behind what we're doing. And the purpose, kind of coming with that organization, is bringing that love in the end, because that consistency, anytime you think about love, you want it to be consistent. You want it to be always present in your life. And consistency is required for that. Okay, so let's move on to the mental energies, maybe see what is promoting the transitions between these energies today. Okay, well, that was aggressive. I'm going to pick those up real fast and see what's going on. They're telling me I pulled the wrong deck. So let's go back to the one we need. All right. So, okay, well, we'll just start with that. And I guess they're going to give me my four cards right off the bat, and I'm just going to go with that. Thanks. Okay, so on the bottom, we have the energy of openness, which is like the moon. So kind of maybe being, I guess in a mental space, that's kind of, that mental openness is like being open and being, maybe going along with the energy of joy. Being open to the fact that we might not know the way things are going to play out mentally, and it's even even if we're consistent, like say for example you're going to your same job every day, you're doing the same things every day, it doesn't seem like much is going to change. It seems like everything is kind of the same, but you're given different experiences, different opportunities. You might meet new people, you might hear about new ideas, and those are the things that are going to change, but you would, or promote change, but you wouldn't encounter them without some type of consistency, right? Even if your consistent practice was trying to try new things, or having a consistent practice of trying new stuff, whatever you're embarking on this year, it seems like being open to the mystery of life, or the fact that there's other things outside of your routine as well, but what are you going to incorporate, what are you going to bring with you? And with the undercurrent of joy, it's maybe including more things that bring you joy in your life on a more consistent basis. But thinking about where we started physically with success, wanting our feelings of success to exist in a physical sense, right? Being able to evaluate our success based on what we have. They're seeing, first of all, coming to a mental place of happiness And that can be gratitude just for what you have now, that you have this lovely place to start this journey, right? Being grateful for all the things that you have in place right now that are going to propel you forward, because you can only start with what you have now. So recognizing that when you move into this organization place, you're going to have to be mentally happy for the journey. You're going to have to be mentally excited. Some type of preparation has to happen there. So enjoying the process of planning and creating and just being happy to do it, right? Happy to embark on a new kind of journey in life. And then also they have this energy of purification. And so if that's moving from the physical sense of organization to psychic protection, to me this is saying a mentality of understanding that everything is necessary that you're going to encounter on this journey you're going on for success. You know, if you're embarking on success, maybe it's looking at things from the perspective of whatever challenges I might face is just an opportunity for me to eliminate a barrier right now. And trusting that in a physical sense, that while you're eliminating a barrier, you're going to be protected, right? Because in order for you to eliminate that barrier, there might be a lot of steps in your way. But in each of those steps, anyone who's ever overcome any adversity or any difficulty is going to tell you that when they were going through those hard times, it seemed like things just work out. So maybe if you're feeling like you're running out of energy or something might be hard to get out of your way, trusting that you'll find that within yourself versus telling yourself, oh, wow, this is such a bad thing. It might just be, well, this is my opportunity to get this out of my life once and for all. It's my opportunity to eliminate this habit or eliminate this negative thing from my life. And the more positive energy that I bring here, the more I kind of start to let my own will shine above the will of the world, that I'll be protected while I do that. The next card they're bringing here is Solitude, which kind of goes with that undercurrent of the Moon card, bringing back a nice little moon there, of openness. So it's interesting the contrast between solitude and openness. And what this might mean, I think, is saying the first part of this journey you might have to go on is stuff that you just have to do for yourself. This could be the daily routine, your thoughts, maybe not sharing all of your thoughts and plans, but at the same time, maybe spending the time to reflect by yourself and learning that, okay, in a mental place of solitude, this could say we might feel alone while we're trying to undergo new processes, or it might be a lot of the things that we have to do, we feel like we're alone in our mission. I think they're giving me that more of I'm feeling alone in my mission, which is interesting that coming from psychic protection to love, it's like as you continue to develop, as you continue to have a more consistent life, you give the opportunity for the physical manifestation of love, right? If you're not able to be consistent, then what is there in people to love about you, right? So being consistent in yourself, but the mentality you may have is feeling alone, or feeling like, okay, well, at the start, no one's really understanding what I'm doing. No one's really on the same page with me. But after we're getting that love, we start to see this outrolling of love for what we're doing, and we start to feel more aligned with our success because it starts to build for us, right? After we've been consistent, we start to have this feeling of power, right? And then where does that power come from? And I think what it's saying here is your power, with this mirroring purification, that power is going to come from that process of getting rid of all of those bad habits, things in your way, those negative mental patterns, and that's what's going to give you a renewed sense of power. And a lot of that, I think the feeling of power is something you're trying to prove to yourself, that following this process is the best way, right? Whereas we might not have started the processes we need to start because we don't believe in them wholeheartedly. So this is really asking for you to believe in your success before you start, and trust that organizing yourself, being dutiful about what you need to do is going to get you exactly what you want in the end. And I think also with psychic protection, it's talking about, okay, setting an intention and asking for support from the universe, especially in the times where you're feeling and thinking that you're alone, asking for that love and support to manifest for you, and bringing your attention towards the love that you do have and the support that you do have versus the love and support that you may feel you don't have. So focusing on what you have is very, very important. And I think, again, underlying that physical spirit of joy is something that is going to need to be the undercurrent for you to keep pushing forward. All right, so we're going to get the spiritual message for each of these thoughts. So basically, each of these kind of thought patterns or mental patterns, we're going to go ahead and clarify them from a spiritual aspect. All right. See if I can get all 4 of these cards here. All right, so let's go ahead and look at what's coming on the bottom. We have surrender now. So just being, my spirit says surrender now. I think that's interesting because it's like, all right, go ahead and commit. Go ahead and commit without having the answers and all of the information that you need. Go ahead and just commit to trying. Go ahead and commit to getting started. So starting out with success, we had that transition, through this energy of just feeling happy, feeling, inspired, kind of just being light about what you're doing, not putting so much weight to everything, Everything doesn't have to be a chore for you to be successful. Trying to enjoy that, enjoy making changes, enjoy the challenge of that. But Fox Spirit is saying, in a spiritual sense, thinking on your feet, which can really mean that some opportunities that are going to come forward to you are going to be opportunities that are spontaneous. And if you're not in the right energy, if you're not in this joyful, happy energy, you might see them as challenges when really are more difficult than they are. You might be reluctant to take an opportunity. So thinking on your feet is important, being able to adapt. So it's almost this energy of keep the ball moving no matter what, no matter how you're feeling. Just keep the ball moving forward, and it's going to get you where you want to go. Stick to your plan. Keep it moving forward. Be willing to adapt and change and see that as important because it's going to be, right? I don't think any opportunities are just going to necessarily... they might not fall in your lap, but it might be the time that so something is telling me your ability to innovate will be important. Your ability to think on your feet and to tap into your spiritual problem solving, or kind of letting your intuition guide you in tough moments is going to help you, find the opportunities that you need to find. When it says clarify on purification in the mental energy, they have Rhino Spirit, which says overcome any obstacle. So really this again goes back to what I was saying with purification being not thinking about an obstacle or a challenge as being a negative thing, thinking about it as being an opportunity for growth, learning a new skill, becoming more resilient. Those are all very positive things you can be proud of, even though you might not see the success manifesting from that immediately. Those challenges and how you deal with them are so important. And I think those are challenges that Spirit is bringing forward to you to show you that you are capable of doing what you might be afraid of doing. On solitude, it says Vulture Spirit, nothing is wasted. To me, what this is saying is that the time that you'll have to spend by yourself is going to be so important to you. That time by yourself, or time when you're not doing anything, really is time that you're sitting with yourself, analyzing yourself, using your downtime wisely and well, is going to be very, very important to you. And it's going to help you kind of be able to reflect and meter your success. And I think it's also very important in saying that even if you feel up to this point that maybe you've been wasting a lot of time, or you haven't been focused, you haven't had this physical kind of organization and structure, and you've been maybe feeling guilty about that you haven't really been getting together. It's saying that time's not been wasted, right? This time alone has been important to you, because time alone helps us to think about all of the things that maybe were chaotic before, where we had to think on our feet, we had to make decisions. We didn't have this underlying organization to protect us from making, difficult decision. So maybe time on your own, it is kind of important to process and reflect. And also, I think since that's moving from psychic protection towards this energy of physical manifestations of love or appreciation, right? This could be saying that maybe you need to take time to think about how all of these experiences that you may have had to process or go through by yourself could help your motion forward now. Maybe you're a more resilient person. Maybe you're a more thoughtful person. Maybe you've identified some flaws or character traits that you need to change, and you're saying, okay, well, I can see in my past where this has impacted me, and even though I might be by myself, it's time that I should appreciate and not let go to waste. It's just as important as the time that I'm wanting to spend out in the world, feeling successful, feeling celebrated for what I'm doing. And then, so moving on, when we have power in the mental energy, when we're feeling mentally powerful, it has the dove spirit, be peace. So this is a message of saying, when you come to the end of whatever journey and process you're working through right now, that you're going to feel this energy, the spiritual peace of that. So when things come to a place of rest and peace and routine, productivity, where you're feeling loved and powerful, if that's the journey that you're trying to go on right now, the marker for that is, for success in that, is the energy of feeling peaceful. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, since we've gone through kind of that process, is get a little clarification from some tarot cards to see if there's any direct messages you might need to know, or anything that could be going on. We're going to answer your questions and get the Buddha slap. All right. So I'm just going to ask for, can I get some clarification? Anything you guys want to add to this reading? All right. Anything we want to add? Any clarification? All right, so on the energy of love and be peace, they've given us the Chariot card. So the Chariot is almost this energy of of moving forward, right? So regardless of how you feel about it, and I want to say moving forward with love, even with the duality we have in ourselves, this internal back and forth we might have, is saying no. Whatever it is, even if you feel resistance, it's important to move forward. Like, it's important to continue going. And I think this is kind of an energy. This is saying to me that this process is going to happen whether you want to or not. So, are you going to be on board with success and focus on the things that you need to do? Or are you going to let this mission that you have leave you behind? This is kind of saying, I think, that you're at the point where you're just ready to move forward, and it's just time to have the success. So whatever's been going on in the past, kind of having that maybe a lot of time by yourself, or feeling isolated, maybe thinking things through too much. This is kind of the energy of moving forward, and I do think it makes sense to have that energy of thinking on your feet, because there's really no options. It's about moving forward. So are you going to move forward and go with the energy as it's guiding you? And it's kind of saying yes here, that you're gonna go along with it. This also may be saying that if you're looking into a new relationship, that this relationship that's manifesting in your life right now. If you have a relationship manifesting in your life right now, it's very important. I got another one. Yeah, Ten of Swords. Okay, never mind. They want to clarify that immediately. So if you have a relationship ending, I think this is just saying, if there is a new relationship, maybe it's going to help you move on from some pain or hurt in the past with the Ten of Swords there. But also, I think it's just an energy of people being tired of the same old thing and wanting to move forward and do something different. And I think also recognizing that, like I said, in the past, you may have had a lot of time by yourself in isolation and solitude. And this might be the reason that you're looking for moving towards this energy of love, or moving away from things that were hurtful or not helpful. Maybe you've had to learn a lot of tough lessons about your own habits, and it does give you this energy of wanting to be in control with that power card, in your mindset, being in control in your mindset, and being able to feel peaceful in your spirit, and that's what you're moving forward to. Okay, so let's see if they want to clarify anything else. That's some pretty intense energy, but I'm sorry if you went through anything super difficult. But it does seem like this is definitely a huge, I don't want to say a transition necessarily, it's almost just like, it's almost just like, oh, you woke up one day and you're like, all right, it's time to be successful. Like I'm sick of doing the same old thing. I'm sick of the same, I want to be happy all the time. So it's kind of, it's really nice to see that, wanting to move forward. Okay. Is there anything else you want to clarify? Oh, I only take cards that come face up, so we'll see. I'm gonna do a shuffle it like 2 more times and see. Okay, well, we'll go with it. Okay, this card's a little ate up, but alright, and then they don't want to use this deck anymore, so we'll go with the bottom energy. Bottom energy of 7 of Swords. So I think this is saying don't steal your own happiness right now. If you have something on your heart to do, or you have something in your mind to do, don't wait, don't delay on that, because if you kid yourself, that yes, and then underneath that card is the World. So I think it's saying if you kid yourself and steal your own time by feeling down about yourself, or not feeling inspired towards going for whatever your idea of success is, you're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul. If you're focused on getting through today, or just having a good day today, it's not going to give you that kind of organization and consistency to get to where you really want to go. So if something is bringing you anxiety, or you're feeling that you are just kind of barely making it, or just kind of getting away with surviving right now, I think this is talking about putting some more thought into things, and how could you do things the upright way. What habits can you build to do things in the right way, so that when you get to that place of peace, you can really feel peaceful in your spirit about the fact that you did things the right way, and what you have can't be taken away from you. And that's your real state of mental power, is that you did it the right way. You did everything in an upright way. It can't be taken away from you. Okay, so really, that kind of goes toward a peace in your own spirit. Further, they're clarifying, they're given the Seven of Pentacles on purification, which is interesting because it's also like a little sunflower. And I think in the middle energy, I think this is saying is putting in some work towards your mental health and your mental stability. Not engaging with things that, it can feel like work, but it's important work for you to meditate, think things through, take that time for yourself. And it makes sense that we move into a kind of an energy of solitude. So you might be in this process of identifying things that don't bring you joy, and then making active choices to change that. And it's gonna feel like work. It's gonna feel like work, but it's work that you need to reflect on. It's important, that's why I say it's important to have a mindfulness practice. It's important to take that time to think things through. All right, in moving forward, we have over solitude the Nine of Cups, which to me is saying, and he's kind of by himself, it's kind of saying most of what you're going to achieve on this path in life, or whatever you're defining as success right now, is going to be rewards that you get by yourself, right? You might have a lot of time where you don't feel supported, and that's okay, because ultimately you want to have these successes by yourself. Now, I think there is an energy of probably, you know, collaborating, but whatever is the reason that you're doing this, the sense of fulfillment that you will gain from it is the fact that, yes, I did have to do this by myself. I overcame all of these things to become the person that I am, that's able to receive all this love and joy. And I think that's going to be very, very important to remember, is that the big wish that comes out of solitude, which is really showing me as a physical manifestation of feeling loved by others, that wish that comes true is going to come out of maybe that place of discipline, reflection, and refining refining your process in life. You also have the Ten of Cups here on nothing is wasted. And since it's in the upright, I think it's kind of saying, when you get to the end of this process, whatever you build is going to be something worth celebrating. And so none of the time that maybe you are alone, because this is not a card of being alone, you know, this is a card of having a family, having a support system, having people around you, a community to celebrate life with, and all of the things that you're wanting in your heart and your spirit. So that's what seems to be what you're running towards with the Chariot. And it seems like that's going to happen as long as you're focusing on your own personal success, right? And that's something that you have to focus on regardless of the other people around you. Anyway, all right. So now that we're sort of at the end of the reading, if you had a question at the beginning that you had in mind, we'll go ahead and answer it. So I'll start out with the card we have pulled on my left. So if you had a yes or no question, I'll go ahead and use pendulum to tell you yes or no, and then we'll flip the card and see what it was. So if you chose the left card, what's the answer to their question? If you chose the left card, the answer to your question, your specific question, is no. Very clearly no. So what is the card? So you have the Chariot in reverse. Okay. So you have the Chariot in reverse. So they're saying no. So if you had an idea or a plan or something in mind, remembering that this energy of moving forward was really present in our reading, like it's just time to go forward. So if whatever you might have been thinking or planned, it might just not be the thing that's going to move you forward. So if something else in the reading resonated with you, I would suggest going with that. But if you're not moving forward, if you're not focusing on taking steps, this could mean that there's delays or blocks with whatever choice you're making, whatever question that you had in mind. So it's the exact opposite of what Spirit is encouraging you to do. So I would just say very clearly no. You see the card come out. I think that's pretty clear message. Let's see for the next one. We're going to use pendulum and see if this is a yes or a no question. So think about the specific answer to your the specific question, and it's going to tell you yes or no. What's the answer? So they're saying sort of yes. Yeah, sort of yes. So let's see what the card is. All right. So the card that we have, Three of Swords. Okay, and this is an interesting depiction of the Three of Swords, because normally it's like a heart being stabbed with some swords, but in this one you see the unicorns walking away, and to me that's saying, yes, something would be, if it's sort of yes, it's like, yes, some magic might leave your life. But ultimately with the Three of Swords, it's something maybe that was bound to happen, that needed to happen. So this could be saying that something that might be painful to leave behind is actually what opens up more opportunity and more magic in your life. I would say that I feel like this maybe is something that happens without your involvement or a decision that's made. And so it might be that like in a business sense, I would say, this could be that there's an imbalance with, maybe an imbalance in the thinking, the planning process. So people might not agree with you on your ideas, and you might have to walk away in a sense of love or relationships. This could just be that whatever you're working on right now is something you're gonna have to do without your partner, and trust that they will, they'll either be there or they won't, or they might not take something well that you're deciding to do. And you can, if I'm looking at the reading as a whole, it might just be kind of the symbol that, yeah, you're not getting the support that you really needed, or yes, if you're contemplating moving away from something, it might be a good idea for the time. And just be careful about, kind of what you're investing in when it comes to other people. And keep in mind your own organization or your own process, goals, dreams, and ambitions. And make sure that whatever you're choosing to involve yourself in, that you still protect those. Okay. And now for the final card, we have the Buddha slap. What was the overall message for the reading? Before I pull this, if you've liked this video so far, it's been helpful. Definitely hit that like button, subscribe, share with anyone that you feel like might need some advice in this reading, and hopefully it's been a great meditation for your day. So here's your Buddha slap. Here we have the Six of Swords. So this kind of goes hand in hand with the Chariot that we've had. And I'm so sorry for the person over here. Yeah, the Chariot is super important. And this energy of moving forward. So this is finding new mentalities, moving on to other options, exploring new opportunities. And I want to say not having doubt about it. Just go on, move forward, try different things, do new stuff. That seems to be the overall, kind of reading right now is do new stuff, try new things, expand yourself, and just trust that the process is going to work itself out. If there's things where it's time for you to move on and move forward, go ahead and do that, and just trust that's going to be best for you. If you look here, they're not looking backwards, they're moving on, and they're taking their wisdom with them. So move on with wisdom. Go ahead, and it's interesting because in the way that the cards fall in the reading, they're moving on towards success. So this could be, just advice from spirit to just focus on moving towards for success, whatever that means towards you. Put consistent and constant energy towards that, and it's going to lead you to the right place. All right, well, I hope that reading helps you. Namaste, and have a great rest of your day.